TikTok has become one of my go-to places to learn crochet tips, and today I'm going to be putting 10 viral crochet TikTok hacks to the test to see if they actually work. As an avid crocheter, I have been exploring the vast crochet community on TikTok, and let me just say I'm impressed. It's been a fantastic source of inspiration and education for me. And in today's video, I have chosen 10 of my favorite viral crochet TikTok hacks, and I'm going to test them to see if they live up to the hype. The thing that has really impressed me about these crochet TikTok hacks is that I haven't seen them on other platforms. I haven't seen YouTube videos about them or Instagram Reels or Facebook posts. These are really unique and many of them are a little bit quirky. The first viral crochet hack is from Kissa Crochet. She has a multi-part series on her channel called Things I Use for Crochet That Are Not Meant for Crochet. And one of my favorites is when she used an empty Clorox white box and she used it to put her yarn in and she fed the yarn through. I actually thought that was a great idea and I just happen to have one, so I want to try it. This works best with a skein of yarn because it's a cylinder and the proportions just make sense. And you'll need to find the center pull, and sometimes that can be a little bit frustrating and sometimes it's all tangled up. Once you find the end, you can put your skein of yarn inside the Clorox box and then you can just start pulling it through. This is a prime example of why I appreciate the crochet TikTokers that share all of these amazing little tricks. Unfortunately, there are a lot of expensive crochet gadgets that are marketed to us all the time. And in reality, we don't need those expensive gadgets and those expensive little toys out there for crochet because something as simple as a Clorox box works perfectly. The only thing I might do is to make this look a little bit better because I love to have things in my craft room that look pretty. My mom has had this gift wrapping paper forever, and it's just a book of all of these gorgeous floral prints, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna cover this Clorox box with this beautiful paper and I think it's going to look beautiful. At least it will look better than it does right now, and I will enjoy having it out in my craft room. But you could use this with any kind of paper that you have. I've got my Mod Podge and a little brush. This turned out so much better than I thought it was going to. And now I'm gonna save all of my Clorox boxes and put this beautiful wrapping paper on them because I could see using this for the yarn bowl idea from Kissa Crochet, but I also could see using this for a lot of different things like put crochet hooks in or even to put your scraps in. This is so pretty. I would be happy to display this in my craft room. It's so functional and I had everything in my craft supplies to be able to do this. The next crochet TikTok hack is from my friend Anna from The Naughty Boss. Now we're not friends in real life, but we are Instagram friends, so I like to say that we're friends. A lot of you have asked me about jogless color changes for crochet, and I've actually never really done it before because the jogs don't bother me. And if you're wondering what in the world am I talking about, what is a jog? It's when you change color in crochet, especially if you're working in the round for something like Amigurumi, or maybe you're making a hat and you see that little bump where the color changes. This hack from Anna makes that jog a little less noticeable, so I'm going to try it out. The first thing I'm going to do is just get the new color and just add it the way I normally would. But instead of doing a single crochet here, I am going to slip stitch like Anna showed and then chain one. And then I'm just going to go through and single crochet all the way around. Now that I've done the jogless color change, I want to do my normal way. It's just the standard way, and I want to see how it compares and how it looks different. Here's the Jogless color change, and here's the normal way that I always change colors, and I do see a very noticeable difference. So this is kind of exciting. I did not think that this was going to change the way that I change colors when I'm crocheting, but the more I look at this, the more I'm impressed with the way it looks and how you don't notice the color change quite as much. So I'm actually really impressed with this one. The next tip is from Laura from Be Unique Boutique on TikTok, and I thought this one was so good, especially for those of us who get annoyed at those gaps at the end of a double crochet row. So here is my little double crochet sample, and I definitely see those gaps. So what she recommends is when you turn your work, instead of chaining 3 like we normally would, we're going to go into that first stitch right here and we're going to make a single crochet. Then you're going to look at these 2 loops that are right here, so they look like this. We're going to go into that first loop right here, single crochet again, and this acts as our turning chain. This is going to give us an actual stitch to work into when we come back instead of trying to figure out where we need to go, and then we just double crochet all the way across as normal. So I'm at the end of the row and I'm back to where I made that alternative to the chain 3. Now I know exactly where to put my hook because the stitch is right there instead of trying to figure out where to put it in the top of a chain 3. Oh, and I do think that that looks so much nicer on the ends. You can see that here's where I was doing the chain 3 and here's where I stopped and did that alternative. It really does look so much neater. Oh, you can see it over here as well. It looks so much neater. It's just more straight. I really like this technique. This next tip by Sydney from Made by Tam is making me a little bit nervous. She shared that by using a lighter on an acrylic project, you can get rid of all of those little fuzzies. So I'm actually really nervous to do this one, but I'm going to trust the process, and I'm going to be using my little pig right here. This is 100% acrylic yarn. Do not use this on other types of yarn at all. It will burn. But because acrylic is a synthetic fiber, it should work. I'm really hoping it does. So I'm going to do it on the back. In case it gets a little bit not so good, at least it'll be okay back here. And you want to just go over it really quickly because acrylic can melt, but we just want to get rid of some of that fuzziness that you can get with acrylic projects. Can you see some of that fuzz back here? There's just a little bit of fuzz. I'm going to move his arms. Ooh. This may be one of the smartest things I've ever done, but this may be a really dumb thing. I'm going to find out. Oh. It worked. Oh, this worked. It's kind of scary, but it worked. I'm impressed. No pigs were harmed during this little experiment. Woo. This next crochet hack is by Haberlin's Hobbies, and I have seen it all over TikTok. Have you seen this little hack, this little trick that people are doing with a tennis ball? I am very skeptical that this is going to work, but I'm going to try it because why not? Why not just try it? Okay, so if you don't know, this is supposed to make a crochet hook ergonomic. We're going to take this crochet hook and we're going to put it into this tennis ball. It's going to be an ergonomic handle. It's supposed to help reduce pain when you're crocheting, especially in your hand. And I'm going to try it. I hope that I end up not cutting myself and that this works. I'm not going to be able to make much of a cut here because the crochet hook is so small. Oof, this is making me nervous. All right, this is a lot harder than oh my gosh, this is really dangerous. Okay, I'm gonna actually get my son to do this for me. I need you to poke a small hole in this.
Very different looking hands.
Okay, we had to go to plan B. An X-Acto knife. Who knew tennis balls were... It needs to just be like a slit, not even a hole. Okay, let's see if that will go in there. So we've got it. That was a little bit dangerous, but we're okay now. First thing I'm noticing, it's gonna take time to figure out how to do this. Oh, and yarning over, that is kind of tough. It's okay. Well, it's not bad. I thought it would feel a lot worse. I don't know. I feel like this could be good, but oh boy, it's kind of frustrating because it just is taking me so much longer to do something trying to hold the tennis ball. I could see that maybe this could help with pain, although part of me wonders if it wouldn't just cause different pain if you did it long enough, but oh my gosh, this is kind of frustrating. Oh my goodness. Whoever thought we would put tennis balls on our crochet hooks? This is definitely worth a try. I think I paid $1.88 for a whole pack of those 3 tennis balls, so it wasn't a huge investment. And you may even have a tennis ball laying around. It's just a little bit dangerous. I think that's the only thing, is that you could get hurt doing this. But I will say that the hook is inside here really good. I mean, it's not moving. I had a hard time even putting the crochet hook into the tennis ball. If you just make a very small little slit, and my son actually ended up making kind of an X slit, so one this way and one this way, but it is really solid in here. This is fun. I would definitely try it if you're curious, but I'm probably not going to keep doing it this way. The next tip is from Melissa M. from Yarn Fully Wonderful. This little tip is for those of you who like to wind up these hanks of yarn into little cakes and how to place the label. I do this regularly by just sticking the label down into the cake of yarn, but I have to shove it down in there and it's not super neat or nice. And when I saw this hack on TikTok, I was like, this is genius. I'm going to try it for myself. This was such an easy little trick, and I'm going to be doing it this way from here on out. The label is in there so nice and neatly. I didn't have to shove it in there. I love this one. This one is simple, but so practical. This next video is from Iconic Trends, and she is winding her yarn on a Sharpie. Where's my Sharpie? A Sharpie, just like this. And I'm gonna see if I can do this. It looks so simple, but I think I'm going to use it with just a leftover skein of this Premier Cotton Sprout. It looks really simple. It looks really easy, but I want to make sure I can do it too. This was genius. Now, I had a little bit of trouble because I thought that you were supposed to try to pull it over the cap, which obviously you weren't. So I went back and watched the video and saw that she took it down the end of the Sharpie, which makes a whole lot more sense. But it creates the nicest center pull little ball of yarn here. This was simple to do, very easy, and I think it would be best, especially if you had a scrap of yarn, you don't have a large amount or a full skein, but if you had a leftover skein and you just wanted to make it nice and neat, this would be perfect. The next crochet hack is from Maxine from Ixine Crochets. She has so many amazing TikTok videos showing all of these crochet tips and tricks, so I highly recommend going and checking out her channel. But this one tip was like a light bulb moment for me, and I knew I wanted to share it with you guys. When you are making a foundation chain, she recommends going up one entire hook size because, and I will show you an example. When I did my little sample from doing the alternative churning chains, I began to see that my little sample here is starting to flare out. And the reason is because when you do a chain with the same crochet hook size as you do the rest of the project, it tends to be less flexible and you have a tighter tension with that chain than you do the rest of the project. So she recommends using a crochet hook size larger. So if this is going to be a 4mm crochet hook for the whole project here, you would use a 5 just for the chain. So I'm going to try this out. So I'm going to use a 4mm hook for the project, but I'm going to start the foundation chain with this 5mm hook, and I'm just going to make a little swatch. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch my crochet hook size to the 4mm. The first thing I'm noticing is that it's just easier to work into the chain because there are bigger loops. Look how great it turned out. I will be doing this from this point forward. I think this just makes sense. Our chains are typically tighter than the rest of our work, and this feels stretchy even down here on that chain, and my work is much neater. It looks so nice. I honestly don't even know why this isn't taught. Just the standard way to crochet. Always go up 1 hook size for your chain and then go back down 1 hook size for the rest of your project. This is genius. Thank you, Maxine. I'm going to be doing this from here on out. This next tip is from All About Jade, and it's an Amigurumi tip, so I cannot wait to try this one. She is giving more definition to the face of an Amigurumi little bunny rabbit that is made with a chenille yarn. So I have this cute little whale that's from Airily Toys. This is a free design that she has on her website, but I think that it would be really cute if I added this little definition. So what she's doing is getting a long piece of your yarn, and then she's threading it through the back so that it gives an indentation to the eyes. Now, my only worry about this is that it's going to cause the back to pucker, but I'm going to try it and let's just see. This works really, really well. Now, the reason why I think that it doesn't work great on mine is only because I have such tiny little safety eyes here, and in her project she has larger safety eyes, which I think will work so much better. But this is a simple trick. This is an easy little thing that you can do to give your amigurumi a little more character by indenting the eyes. I just think it looks great. Unfortunately, it's just the safety eyes that I use that is making it look like my little whale doesn't have eyes anymore. If I had bigger safety eyes, this would be perfect for this. And in the back, it doesn't even cause any puckering, which is what I was afraid it would do. There's no issues at all. Just make sure to use larger safety eyes. Teeny tiny ones aren't going to work so great, but that's kind of obvious. But that was my issue. The next tip is sort of like our tennis ball one, in that we're going to be using something that we don't use for crochet as a crochet hook handle. So I'm going to see if I can take this one out. Let's see if I can get it off of here. Oh, here we go. All right. And this is from Kat from Row and Sunny, and she's using little makeup beauty blenders and sticking them right on her crochet hook to use as an ergonomic handle. I actually cannot wait to try this because these are so squishy and soft and they feel great in your hand, and I'm going to see if they're great on crochet handles too. I just got these little beauty blenders at Walmart. Okay, so the only issue that I have right now is that all 3 of my beauty blenders are different sizes, but that's okay. I just want to think about it a little bit, how I want to use these. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it this way. Oh my gosh. That's very easy to do. Not like the tennis ball. Oh, this feels so good in my hands, I have to say. Oh, this feels really nice. Now let's see how it feels to actually crochet with it. I think I need to move these down a little bit, and I will say these are sticking they are sticking on here. There is no issue here. It definitely does feel a little bit awkward, but I think it would just take time to get used to this. It feels really nice on, I will say, especially if you're using a hook like this one where it's all metal and it has this really skinny handle. But I do think that it would take a little bit, you know, of getting used to because it is quite large. That was such a fun experiment, and these little beauty blenders feel so good on your hands. They're so squishy, they're so soft. So I think if you're looking for an ergonomic way to crochet, but you still love your all metal hooks, this would be worth experimenting with. I do think that it would take some time to get used to using a beauty blender as a crochet hook handle. But I think over time, and especially if you needed it for any pain that you're experiencing, this might be a really great alternative. I don't know that I would use it on a consistent basis, but I'm really glad I tried it. And I do think that it's worth experimenting with, especially if you've got some beauty blenders laying around and you just want to try it. I know I said I had 10 TikTok crochet hacks, but I found another one that I thought was so cute and it was worth sharing with you guys. And this is from Jada. I'm going to read the text that's on her video because it's so adorable. Ultimate crochet hack. Teach your boyfriend how to weave in your ends and then you never have to do it again and you can have crochet nights while you watch your favorite shows. I thought that was genius. And the video goes on to show her and her boyfriend and he's over there weaving in the ends while she's crocheting. And this is the most genius hack of all. If you can get a boyfriend, a husband, a significant other, a partner in life, a best friend to weave in your ends, you have got it made. And I asked the 3 men in my life, my husband and my 2 sons who all live in this house, and they all politely declined, but it was worth asking. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that it was fun and maybe you learned a little something. But if you're not looking at TikTok crochet hacks, I highly recommend it because there is such a great community there. There are so many interesting things going on and new ideas. It's just a lot of fun. But I hope you all stay safe out there and happy stitching.